The archaeological site on Kepler 442b had stumped the galaxy's finest linguists for 17 standard years. The monolithic structure, older than most spacefaring civilizations, bore inscriptions in a language that defied every translation matrix, every linguistic algorithm, and every comparative analysis the Galactic Academic Union could devise. Professor Thalexian, a renowned Valkyrie scholar with 6 doctoral degrees and crystalline neural processors that could analyze 4 million language patterns simultaneously, stared at the symbols carved into black stone. Around her, a team of specialists from 9 species worked in frustrated silence. The script was clearly structured, clearly intentional, but utterly impenetrable. It shares no root system with any known language family, Thalexian said for the 1,000th time, her bioluminescent patches dimming with exhaustion. The syntax suggests complexity, but the semantic markers are completely alien. We may never decipher this. That's when the human arrived. Dr. James Okonkwo wasn't supposed to be there. He was a junior xenoanthropologist, barely 3 years out of Earth's universities, assigned to catalog pottery fragments at a dig site 3 kilometers away. But curiosity, that peculiarly human trait that other species found both admirable and deeply concerning, had drawn him to the main excavation. He approached the monolith, wiping dust from his hands onto already filthy cargo pants. The senior researchers barely acknowledged him. Humans were still novelties in academic circles, their universities unproven, their methodologies considered primitive. Okonkwo studied the inscriptions for perhaps 30 seconds before his eyes widened. Oh wow. Is this giving you trouble? Thalexian's patches flickered with irritation. This trouble has consumed 17 years of research across multiple disciplines. If you'll excuse us, we have. It's old Igbo. The dig site went silent. Every translator, every neural processor, every advanced analysis tool stopped humming. 17 species turned to stare at the human. I am sorry. Thalexian's voice could have frozen hydrogen. Well, not exactly. Okonkwo continued, oblivious to or ignoring the tension. It's like Proto-Igbo mixed with some Sumerian grammatical structures and what looks like Sanskrit numerical systems. But the base is definitely West African language family. My grandmother speaks something pretty close to this. Well spoke. She passed last year. He paused, a flicker of sadness crossing his features. She was a linguist too. Would have loved this. A Borvaxian researcher, Dr. Kroll, stepped forward. His species had been studying xenolinguistics for 4,000 years. That's impossible. These inscriptions predate your species' written language by millennia. Your people were not even spacefaring when this was carved. Yeah, that's the weird part, Okonkwo agreed, pulling out a battered datapad. But look, this symbol here, that's definitely the Igbo character for sky or above. And this one is journey. This whole section seems to be describing some kind of migration story. He scrolled through his notes. My thesis was on linguistic convergence in isolated populations. Sometimes languages evolve similar structures completely independently because human brains are wired certain ways. But these aren't human inscriptions, Thalexian protested weakly. Okonkwo shrugged. Maybe. Or maybe whoever built this had similar cognitive patterns. Or, he trailed off, looking at the monolith with new eyes. Or humans have been in space a lot longer than we thought. That last suggestion sent ripples of shock through the team. The implications were staggering. Either this was the most elaborate cosmic coincidence in recorded history, or humanity's origins were far more complex than anyone imagined. Can you translate it? Kroll asked quietly. Give me a week and access to Earth's linguistic databases. I'll need to consult with some elders in Nigeria, maybe some Sanskrit scholars in India. Okonkwo was already photographing the inscriptions with childlike enthusiasm. This is incredible. Do you know what this could mean for proto-language theory? For the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis? 4. Just translate it, Thalexian interrupted, though her patches now glowed with something that might have been excitement. 3 weeks later, the translation was complete. The monolith told the story of a people who had traveled between stars long before any current civilization existed, who had scattered themselves across countless worlds, leaving fragments of their language and culture like seeds. The final line, which Okonkwo translated with trembling hands, read, "We came from the cradle. We will return when we remember." The cradle, Felixin whispered. What does that mean? Okonkwo thought of Earth, of Africa, of the great Rift Valley where humanity had first learned to walk upright and look at the stars with wonder. He thought of his grandmother, who used to say that all languages were siblings, separated by time, but sharing the same mother. "I think," he said slowly, "it means we've been here before. The galaxy would never look at humanity quite the same way again."